Hello, hello. My name is Eleftherios Kokkinakis. I am the lead developer and project manager for Westwood Shadows, and I'm here tonight with you to play the prologue of Westwood Shadows and talk a little bit about the production and things we've done so far, things we're gonna get to do in the near future. And with me today, I have George Pavlou. Hello, George.
Hi, Lefteris. Hey, everyone. I'm really happy to be here tonight. We're going to have a very interesting conversation about the development of Westwood Shadows. And I have to say, you have to check out the prologue of the game. It's already on Steam, it's free. And if you are into spooky, scary adventure games with clever puzzles, you have to give it a chance. I had an amazing time playing the game, and it got me really hooked to see with a very good cliffhanger ending
Yeah.
to see what is going on in the main game, which will be released shortly. And I have to ask, what inspired you to create Westwood Shadows? What were the main influences that drove you to create a game like that?
All right. Well, we're getting right to the point. Okay. Well, Westwood Shadows was actually it just happened one day. I was working in a animation production in France. Originally, I was a 3D animator, and between the productions, we just thought with my wife to try and experiment with game development and see if we could ever just have anything that would be considered a playable and decent game. But that was only for us. We started around 2019, I believe it was January, and we originally just came up with the idea of making a horror game, and that was mostly because we had all these influences and all these amazing games we were playing as kids. I mean, we were the generation that grew up with horror games. We were playing all the big hits back then, of course, including Silent Hill. It is our favorite, and Resident Evil, and so many more games, Amnesia, so many great titles out there, and we couldn't wait to get out of school and go back home and play these games and enjoy it with our friends. And all this just it made us who we are today. I mean, we loved all this experience. We loved the whole situation where you were just waiting for the weekend to go play your game. And honestly, until now, till today, I still get back to these games every now and then to remember all the moments of glory, all these amazing feelings we had. And we kind of miss them because things now are different in games. They have all evolved into something better, into something more. And we do miss this feeling that you would get only if you're a kid, only if you were just this sensitive young kid and unaware of what could happen later on in the game. I mean, now with the game industry blooming so fast, you get to see, you get to, you know pretty much where this is going, what kind of game you're playing. But back then, we didn't even know what to expect. So we just started playing, and we were amazed with every cutscene and everything that was happening in the games. So eventually, we thought 2019 to give it a shot just for us, and we came up with this really nice scenario of Westwood Shadows. We worked on that. Originally, it was just me and Lamborghini, but after we released the first prologue of the game, we thought, well, we can do that. We can actually make it a full game. We got some really nice feedback from the players on Steam, and we thought, this is actually feasible. We can do this. And so we decided to give it a shot. Later on to 2020, late 2020, if I'm not mistaken, we applied and we got the Mega Grant from Epic Games, which was the best thing that could happen to us. I mean, we immediately quit our jobs and we focused absolutely on game development, on making Westwood Shadows. That was the beginning of everything. When that happened, we just zeroed out. We stopped thinking about everything, and we just started building from scratch the game. We remade the demo after the Mega Grant. We got some extra people to help us with coding and some technical stuff, because I was an animator. I didn't. Sorry.
So you actually rebooted the game?
Yeah, that happened in 2020. Right before we got the Mega Grant, we decided to delete everything except from the level design, which was alright. It was alright in terms of visual, but some technical aspects needed some work. But we deleted the code completely and we started from scratch. And everything happened from that day on. We rewrote every line of code, and we made it so that it is not only good enough for the prologue / demo of the game, but so that it would be ready for the rest of the game as well. Because we have a few mechanics prepared, we planned some stuff for the future, and we wanted to make sure that all these things we want to accomplish will be feasible in terms of frame rate, in terms of performance, so everybody could play the game, even lower specs computers. So we decided to start from scratch, and that's what happened.
Okay, I have to say that I am genuinely impressed because, according to what you are saying, in less than a year, taking into account the reboot you've made, you are actually in a very, very good state. I mean, the prologue, which it's saying it's a demo, actually is an understatement. It's like a first step. It reminded me the Telltale games, which came out in episodes. You could say that it was an episode of one of those games, like The Walking Dead. Okay, it was more. Yes, it was really polished, I have to say. I mean, the graphics are great. A couple of years back, you could see graphics like that only. And that is not only about Westwood, it's generally for the indie scene. But a couple of years back, you could see graphics like that only in high production games. The sound of the game is amazing. I love the sound. It was really, really. It played a great role creating this very strange atmosphere that the game has.
I see what you mean.
And I mean, doing all these things in less than a year, that's impressive, I have to say.
Well, yeah, that was mainly because we are both, me and Lamborghini, we're both very picky about stuff like that. I mean, if we do something, we want to make it right. We want to make it so that it works perfectly, so that it will actually help the game, and not include it only because you need to have music, only because you need to have sound effects. Every sound effect and every piece of audio, it needs to have a purpose, and it needs to be perfect. I mean, as perfect as we can, obviously, because we're not specialists in that. We are both beginners. We have never made a game before, and we have never worked on so many aspects of game development simultaneously. So we did our best, and at the end of the day, we can judge the game as gamers. I mean, we are all gamers in the team, and we can tell if we are satisfied with the final result. We know what to expect because we know what we would love to play, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So
the prologue is actually out now for almost a month.
actually, it's 3 weeks if I'm not mistaken. It's 3 weeks and a few days. So yeah, we're close to a month now.
How was the reception of the game?
All right, before we get to the reception, I just have to make something clear. The prologue of the game is a part of the game that doesn't include certain features. All right, I mean, we are making a horror game. We are making this horror experience, and just because we are such a new studio, we are on our first game. We wanted to get something out there, get feedback for that, and then start building on that. And that's why we made the prologue, so we can get feedback on the core mechanics of the game. If the game runs smoothly, if there are any special needs for the basic parts of the game, and we know that there are features missing, so it cannot be considered as a horror game. It's mostly a puzzle game, but these are the mechanics that we really wanted to test first. So some players, they understood that completely, and that was great. That was very nice. That was very nice to hear. There were people that actually they were bothered by the absence of horror, and there were other people that actually helped us a lot figure out some issues with the game, some technical stuff, some of the settings that we needed to improve. You know, some of the usual bugs and the usual issues you get when you make a game, your first game, and you need to test. So we made the first prologue, we released it, and even from the next day we had the first patch, and we released the first patch the very next day, the second patch the day after, and so far we've made 8 patches. And we are now finishing up with the 9th patch, which will include a lot more stuff. People complained about certain stuff, and they were right. And other people complained about stuff that were actually... It's understandable to get some certain opinions about things, but we still have not finished the prologue, and we need to help people understand that this is still under construction. I mean, for example, when we first released the game, there were a lot of people talking about the flashlight. There were a lot of people talking about the low light situation where there were a lot of rooms that didn't have enough light. I mean, yes, I understand that, and it's something that we fixed almost immediately. In the first 3-4 patches, I think we fixed that. We added an extra feature on the flashlight, and right after we carried on with the rest of the comments. Before I get on with the stuff we did for the game, how about we actually launch the game? Lamborghini is actually right next to me. If you want to say hi, Lamborghini.
Hello.
And she will actually play the game for us, and she will go through all the levels. She will complete the demo tonight with us. Let me just get into the game.
Until you do that, I have to say that actually I played the game 2 times. The first time was actually when it launched, or just the next day, and the second time was a week later, 10 days later, after 6 or 7 patches. And I have to say that actually it was a totally different experience in terms of mechanics and flow. You ironed out a lot of issues. We talk about it when the game launched, and we talk about it about the issues that the mechanics of the flashlight it could cause to actually break the game in some situations. And the important part it was that you saw that almost immediately, and you fixed it really fast. And I mean, you have to take account the feedback from the community. It's really helpful. It's okay. There are always going to be people that are just mean or.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, that's gaming community. Sometimes they're harsh. Sometimes they. Well, as long as people give us comments that can help us actually improve the game, that is what we need. I mean, even the more, even the meanest comment, if they tell us why they didn't enjoy the game, that's what's helping us, and we really try to encourage people giving us feedback, and this helps us. You helped us as well. I mean, for all the people out there, George was the first person, one of the first people we knew that played the game, and you gave us a lot of feedback. You gave us a lot of help, and you told us a lot of things that we didn't understand, because when you're in this situation, when you're making the game, you actually don't see some very obvious mistakes, some very obvious stuff, and the way you gave us feedback actually really helped us.
Thank you. I just try to be helpful, and to tell you the truth, that happens in every project. When you are really close to something, you tend to miss things that for someone who's looking from outside are obvious. And the most important thing was that you really listened, not only to me, but to the community in general, and you were really quick to iron things out in each issue that was presented.
You see, that's one of the reasons we started everything from scratch, the coding especially. We made it so that we can fix stuff very quickly. That was a huge goal, and I think so far we've achieved it. We have made the code so that we can make hot fixes and stuff, change stuff very quickly. And this is helping us right now. Every time we get feedback, most of the things we get as feedback, we are able to fix almost instantly. We take a day or two, and bam, we have it. Let's get if there's nothing for now.
Should we let's get started.
All right, let's go test the intro of the game, and we can continue discussing after the intro is done.
Unit 503 on patrol, report to dispatch.
503 to dispatch. Detective Peter Bennett on duty.
Hey Peter, what's your location?
Usual patrol. What's going on?
We got an anonymous 1021 domestic disturbance from 17 Lancaster in Westwood. If that's an issue, I can reassign this to someone else.
Westwood. Is there anyone left?
Just as surprised as you. Peter, listen, I can get another patrol.
I'll be fine, Carson. I'll be fine. You got a registered owner on record?
Affirmative, 503. Residence is registered to a Nathan and Jane Foster.
Copy, dispatch. I'm en route.
Report back when you reach the premise, 503. Good luck, Peter. Over.
come home. No, yes, we'll pick up the cake and the candles on our way back from the park.
.503 to dispatch. Front alley's blocked off. Some lights are on. The front door looks open.
Copy. Any vehicle in contact?
Negative. I'll let you know. Over.
Guess it's time to go home.
All right.
I really love this intro. It's funny that at the beginning you said you spoke about the Silent Hill games because
Westwood Police.
For
Is
some
anybody
reason,
here?
The intro reminded me the opening scene of Silent Hill 2, where the character is at the parking lot, and I always imagined, having played the game 20 years back, Silent Hill 2, that the road to get there, to get to this parking lot, it was something like that intro from Westwood Shadows.
You know, this is something we really couldn't avoid. I mean, all these influences we had, it was something that automatically just went into the game. I'm hoping we can get something, half as good as these old master games. We'll see. So
I'm pretty sure that you're at a good path.
We'll see. Hopefully we'll keep it up there and we'll make it even better. We have the tutorial screen here. The tutorial screen is something that is definitely under construction. We know some of this information might be overwhelming for some people to get into the beginning stage of the game, so this will definitely get improved, and we're actually working on that now. This will be probably one of the next 3-4 patches. We're gonna work on that. We have the flashlight tutorial. This explains how the flashlight works, and basically this is after all the changes we've made. You see the icon bottom left, that wasn't there, you know it well. That wasn't there at the beginning. That was one of the things we were getting complaints about. And they were right.
503 to dispatch. I think there's somebody in the house. Stand by.
People actually taught us a lot of stuff, and they helped us see what we couldn't see. The fact that the battery power was very limited, and they were running out of battery very fast, or how they didn't know how much battery they still had for the flashlight. Those things were some of the very first fixes we did. Oh, and the save coin now.
I love the save system. It reminded me so much. Okay, for people to know, you need save coins to use, as you can see right now on your screen, on special telephones in order to save your game. Something that I believe got inspired directly from the Resident Evil Ink ribbon and typewriter.
Absolutely. That was a clear inspiration, and we wanted to achieve something similar. And the fact that you ask the player to constantly look around for save coins, and the fact that you have to think twice before you save the game, otherwise you might end up without save coins. That's something that the person who's playing, the player, needs to be aware of. People need to understand that this is not the game where you can just save whenever you want. This is an experience where you have to be cautious and be careful how you spend your save coins.
I still remember our terror as kids when we realized that we've played like 6 or 5 hours in Resident Evil, and then we were out of ink ribbons. We left the PlayStation playing all night until the next day.
Oh yeah, that reminds me actually of the first experience I had with gaming. Super Mario and Nintendo Entertainment System. Oh man, the fact that I couldn't save the game, I didn't even know what save game was. We just knew that if you turn off the console, that's it. you lose all progress in the game. So I had the console on for days continuously. The console would heat up so much, and it was just impossible to push the power off button because you've made all this progress and you just don't want to lose it.
It was harsh time for gamers, actually.
Let me tell you actually one of the things we're working on right now. So there are save coins around, and you have to look around, collect them, and you basically need to make sure you have enough coins so you can save when you find a telephone. Later on in the game, you will end up with a little bit more coins that you need. So that's on purpose, because later on you find some vending machines which require coins in order to give you either ammo or batteries or some other consumables you need in the game.
That's a nice twist.
That is something our developer Marcos Resvanes came up with, and it was a fantastic idea. We just had to do it, and we're actually working on that now. I mean, maybe we might be able to have this ready in the next couple of patches. That would be something really interesting to see how it will work with the players. And of course, later on in the game, where you will have a lot more levels and areas to play, and yeah, we can't wait to share with the players this update.
For me personally, those kind of risk mechanics, I really love them. Where you have to make a hard choice about limited resources, about what you are going to get.
That's
dispatch. Car's missing. I'll keep looking.
Garage.
It's a big place.
That was missing from the first demo. That was a totally new area. So every now and then in the game, you come up with locked doors or pin codes. That is a legacy from the old demo we had, and that was only 2 of the puzzles you will have to solve in the game. But understanding how things work in the game, understanding that how you need to move around and collect clues, that was the main goal for this demo. I mean, I understand the need for more complex puzzles, and this is why we have a couple of extra, more difficult puzzles later on in the game. And that's actually, those 2 puzzles, they are closer to what the game will include later on in the game. I mean, we're not aiming
Nathan and Jane Foster.
Keep on keep on using keypads and locked doors. That's something that will get boring after a bit, and we totally understand and agree with.
Okay, I believe that the fact that we are using the word prologue for this episode, for this small chapter of Westwood Shadows, is pretty clear about the role of the game, of this particular game.
Yeah.
It kind of acts like a tutorial level, and at the same time like a teaser for the main game.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, listen. One of the main goals for this prologue was to get the story out there and introduce Peter Bennett and a little bit of his background to the people. Have them understand what's going on with Westwood or Peter. I mean, obviously, even from this newspaper we're looking at right now, we understand that there is something going on with Peter and Westwood. We understand that it's not just another cop who goes to a house to invest and there are ghosts or things that will scare you. This story goes so much deeper. I think if you ask me what is the thing that might make this game better and more enjoyable, I would say it's definitely the story we have. We worked with Anastasios Chrysikos, which is a fantastic writer, and he's working with us on the story, and we spent so much time coming up with the perfect scenario and to fill all the gaps and write everything as it happens. And so far, I mean, we finished the whole scenario, and so far the way we're providing all this information to the player, I'm personally satisfied. I mean, I completely feel that the information you get in this demo is exactly what we needed to provide the player with.
And as I said earlier, the ending, I thought that the ending was amazing. I mean, the cliffhanger there is really good. When the prologue ended, there I said, "What? No, don't do this to me. Show me what's going on."
Well, that was our aim. I mean, we wanted to have a strong ending where the player would say, "Oh my God, that just started to get more interesting."
Yes,
when the action starts and you finish the prologue, you say, "Oh my God!" Just when it got started, when it started getting interesting. Another battery, yes.
I have to say it again, even through live streaming and just with an earpiece, the sound is amazing.
We started using for this prologue some 3D audio. Well, there are times in the game where you actually hear something and you can totally tell the direction where it's coming from. And that is really adding to the atmosphere and the mood of the game, and it really works perfectly fine, perfect for the player. It gets you into the mood as long as you're playing with headphones, of course, because if you play with speakers, you might not be able to tell where the sound is coming from. But if you're playing with headphones, which is always recommended in games like this, you have the understanding of where the sound is coming from. Oh, I heard something to my right. Should I just turn around and see what was that? Also, clarity of sound is very important when you use sound effects. When you use audio files that have high quality, is always so much better because you can hear stuff like the drawer opening. Using the right sound effects is also very crucial for a game. Like sometimes it's very difficult to find the perfect sound for the environment and for things that are happening. This is why actually we haven't told anybody. We have actually recorded some of these sound effects here at the studio. We followed some of the advices of great big studios where they record their own sound effects, and we actually made some of these sound effects ourselves.
It's paying out, believe me. Probably you have heard them 1,000 times by now, but for someone who is playing the game for the first time, I heard you said before that it's not really horror or really spooky, and I wanted to say that I disagree with you. There was a lot of moments that I had to stop and look behind me to make sure that I was alone in the room.
Well, it differs from person to person, from player to player. I mean, there were people who played this and they said, "Oh my God, I thought I saw somebody at this at the storage room where there's a mannequin, and you guys just you ruined my night. I got so scared." And there were others who say, "Well, you know, the horror element is missing a little bit," and it's perfectly understandable. Not everybody is the same, or everybody has the same background in horror games, and that's something we understand. We completely understand, and it's.
And the notion of horror is something totally subjective. I mean,
yeah,
there are people who are terrified of clowns.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
And I'm not talking about a clown from the depths of hell like it.
No, like
I mean, a genuine clown.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. It's one of the most difficult parts in game design, where you have to find this nice balance so you can satisfy everybody, not make it too scary or silly scary, or like with unnecessary jump scares, but do not make it very dull and very boring. And this demo is, I think, trying to get in the middle of both these situations. This is the ultimate goal. Find a nice balance between everything. Between right now we're building the AI system. We have LiveStream Eleftherios who's working on the AI system and making the enemies not super hard, but not too easy. Making them not very scary, but not too dull. Finding the sweet balance is totally one of the biggest challenges we face right now.
What was the most challenging thing? What was the hardest decision you had to make in terms of game design? I mean, was there some ideas that didn't make it, or you had to discard or something? Things that you wanted to implement, but at the end of the day you saw that somehow they didn't fit in the game?
In terms of level design, you mean?
Level design and game mechanics.
Well, for game design, for level design, we actually went through stages to get to this final design of the house. We initially started blocking out the house with boxes, and we tried to make a house where it's big enough and complex a little bit, but not too much. And we went forth and back a few times we added some extra rooms, we deleted some rooms, we started from scratch a couple of times. We ended up with this, and this is actually what it looks like now, but in the previous demo, back in 2019, it was a little bit different. You see the last light now is flickering, so this means it's losing some battery. If you see at the bottom left, the battery is kind of running out. So this is an indication for the player that the flashlight will run out of battery soon. So yeah, we went back and forth for the level design. don't forget, this is again a first game for us. This is something very, very new to us, and there were points that we just weren't sure if it's something that will work out. There were points that we just didn't know. Is this good enough? Is this gonna play nicely? Is it gonna be too confusing? Is it gonna be too difficult to navigate, or is it gonna be too boring? We just had to get it out there and see what people will say about it. So I think for the prologue again, for the first release of the game, it worked out okay, but we definitely learned some stuff since then. And all these games Lamborghini is making right now, all these other levels that Lamborghini is making right now, she's using all this extra knowledge, all this extra stuff we learned.
I want to ask about that. The full game is going to be a continuous experience, or it's going to be separated in different levels that the characters gets traveled from location to location?
It's gonna be I guess it's gonna be a mixture. I mean, I don't want to spoil things. I don't want to say anything about the story, but there will be cases where you will have to actually go to the area you need to go, and you can spend as much time as you want during your navigation. But there will be times where you will unavoidably like fast travel there. You will just get there. It's part of the whole illusion thing that's happening to Peter. At some point you will see stuff happening. You will start to see the shadows. You will start to see stuff happening to Peter. He will not know if it's true or if it's his imagination, and so there will be moments where suddenly he will just appear somewhere else, and this is all part of the storytelling methods.
Great. And I have to say that I love this library room.
The library,
where Lamborghini is right now.
This is at the top of the library. That is definitely a huge library. That's a library nobody has, but
always wanted to have.
Wanted to have. People love books, definitely. It's the Foster's house, this house that belongs to Foster's right now. It's an old building, right? It's one of these mansions that they are there since so many years, hundreds maybe of years, and they just preserved it, and they maybe renovated and they made it look nicer, but they kept the oh yeah, that's the emergency mode. You see how the flashlight runs out now? Mm-hmm. This is something we also added recently. I mean, the flashlight runs out. You might not have batteries, but you're still able to turn it on, and it will work for a few seconds before it runs out again.
That's actually useful because, as people are going to see very shortly, there are puzzles that depend on the use of the flashlight.
Yeah, well, that's something people helped us with. That's something that, because we were getting some comments from the people, and this is why we encourage people to send us feedback on the community hub in Steam, and everywhere basically, even on Discord. People tell us about stuff. People tell us that, oh, listen man, it was just too dark, or I ran out of batteries, and I was trying to find batteries but I couldn't. We just listen to these people, and we come up with ways to make it better, with ways to make it actually work. This is what I would expect. This is what I would love to get as a player from a game. I mean, I'm trying to just save the game. I'm trying to be the kind of developer I always had. I always wanted to communicate with in a game. This is why we always respond to everybody. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who I would never respond to.
There's something one of my college teachers used to say. He said that good comments are nice, but negative comments are useful.
Sure, of course. Yeah. I mean, we appreciated every positive comment and we read all of them, but the people who actually had something to say about the game are the people who helped us make this even better. At least for the things that we understood that we were doing something wrong. I mean, there are people, like I said before, who might find the whole saving system a little bit peculiar, a little bit difficult, but we can tell, I believe, which comments are actually helpful and which comments are from people that are just might not be used to the game like this. And you get a key.
Actually, the fact that at the full game you're going to have this mechanic that you described earlier, that you have to choose between sacrificing a save token to get ammo or batteries. Makes the whole thing much more than just a reference to the Resident Evil saving system. It's a genuine gameplay mechanic that makes you want to think, makes you think about what you're going to do and what you're going to choose.
Absolutely, that is our goal. I mean, making good use of your inventory items is something we intended. One of the things that we are actually also working on right now is the controller support. I just saw when you point at a item and you want to pick it up, you currently have to look directly at it and click it, so it just goes into inspect mode and then you can pick it up. Before we go into controller support, we wanted to make this little change where on top of every item that can be pickable, you get this icon that says, oh, you can press E to pick it up. And this helps both keyboard users and controller users. When this is done, we are going straight for controller support and we're gonna finish this.
Talking about controllers, I know that it's a little bit early, but have you thought about other platforms apart from PC?
Absolutely. I mean, there are people using Macintosh and Linux. There's a couple of people that actually asked us for both, for Macintosh and Linux. And we'll definitely make a release for Macintosh. The only thing is we need to get to a little bit more stable release for the Prologue, a release that will include some of the features we feel, okay, this is something now that can be released on Macintosh, because for a Windows user, it's you need to actually, something that people don't know, you need to own a Macintosh if you want to publish to Macintosh. So we're gonna have to get a Macintosh computer soon and release it to Macintosh as well. And Linux is a little bit easier. It needs a little bit of coding, but you can easily do it. We're definitely gonna release for both. For Prologue, I guess in the next month we'll have these both done.
Great.
In the next couple of weeks. I mean, we're planning a Kickstarter campaign now that will launch in November, first half of November, and before that we're probably gonna release for Macintosh and Linux.
So a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, you're probably going to hear my little son Steven cry right now, and just give me a moment.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't hide the babies.
No, you can, and we are at this point that we just started the going to school, so for each week for each week at school would stay 2 weeks at home being sick.
Oh jeez, I hope they get better soon. So right now we got to a point where the player needs to collect a few statues and add them to the library pedestals, and this is kind of maybe the first puzzle. One other thing that we're currently working on is how the UV light system is introduced to the player. Right now, currently, the UV system is out there, but we haven't really taught the players how to use it and when to use it and how it works. So there are ways to figure out where the UV areas are located. Specifically, you can see the painting on the ground, and wherever there is a painting on the ground, there is a UV area. But that is definitely not clear to the player. I mean, that's another thing we learned from the players. They told us that they just couldn't find at the beginning where the passwords for the UV is. So there's in the next couple of puzzles, this will come available, where we will introduce a better way to teach the player how to use the UV light and when you're able to use it.
And that was.
Sorry.
I mean, it was. I thought that it was pretty clear when we talked about it that the UV system is going to be central to puzzle solving, but there is this kind of situation where you think that some things seem obvious. People tend to think in very, very different ways.
I mean, it's our goal, it's our task. It's something you have to do as a developer to actually help the players understand the mechanics and how to use them. We need to. If you're using as a mechanic, you need to train the person, you need to train the player,
I love this point that Lamborghini was showing right now.
The painting with the butterflies. Yeah, that's one of the things actually lots of people haven't found yet. I mean, we have this password where you scan the place with the house with the UV light, and you see underscore. You see the first digit is let's say 5. The second digit is 2. The third digit is 7, and the fourth digit is butterfly.
And the first time that I played that, I thought that the right number was 9, because butterfly has 9 numbers, which it wasn't. And then I said, okay, it's 2, the wings of the butterfly. Exactly. Again, we're wrong. And then I thought that it will be 4, 2 pairs of wings. So having used three numbers out of 10, then I went with the old method of trial and error.
Well, thankfully for whoever never spotted this painting, we had players actually going random. Like, okay, it's 9 digits. We're just gonna try everything and see how it works.
Yeah, screw it, I'm going to go this way. And then I found the painting. I noticed the painting because it's pretty obvious. And it's pretty obvious, I mean, among all the other paintings, which most of them have those spooky images, or from their portraits or things like that, it really stands out.
See, UV light is actually going to be one of the mechanics that will continue in the main game, of course, and we have a few ideas that will make it much nicer. We will have a better use, and even better use for the flash, for the UV light. So right now, if you manage to figure out how the puzzle's going to the right spot, there is this secret entrance to another room.
This is where things get really interesting story-wise. The things that you find.
Well, yeah, somebody is mentioning that there are badges. Could be like anything. Could be player doesn't know at this point what these badges will be for, and it's a first clue that these two people, the couple, the Fosters, they were actually doing something together. They're not just an ordinary couple. They are involved into something, and it might be just plain work. It might be
security
something.
Where's the room?
It might be something that is completely irrelevant, but it might turn out something really important for the story.
You're really secretive about the story of the game, and I like that.
Well, it's I think the strongest point of the game. Like I said, the story of Westwood Shadows is what makes it so good, at least in the pre-production stage where we have the script written, and we only have to deliver it right. This is the difficult part now. We have to get this story out there in a way that people will understand, will enjoy, and they will just yeah, that's a very strange and dark room.
The pacing of storytelling is very, very important in every story told.
Absolutely.
No matter how good your story is, or the twist and the plots, the plot that you have imagined, and how you're going to tell it is really, really important.
Well, thankfully we got a team with really talented people, and we're constantly getting feedback about if the story works, if things are clear, if anything is needed to improve this pace. I mean, it's like you can't play a game if it's constantly a puzzle-solving game. You can't play a game if it's constantly fighting. I mean, unless you're playing a game, a first-person shooter, if you're playing a game like this, a horror game, you want to have like variation. You want to have moments of the ups and downs. You need to constantly be on the lookout for something that might happen, and things will actually happen.
That's very interesting, because actually the prologue right now is just focuses just on exploration and puzzle solving, but we're sure that there's going to be some fighting mechanics. You talk about aim before, so I really look forward for that. Right now, actually, the prologue right now is an adventure puzzle game.
Yep.
So the main game, the full game, is going to be a genuine survival horror.
It's gonna be as it is now, with a couple of features that are missing. The horror element will be introduced. I mean, a bit more than what you see now, and also fighting shadows, fighting the enemies, will be
Why would they want
one
this
of
place
the main
watched?
things that you will be doing in the game, or you don't have to. I mean, the way we make the enemies system in the game is so that You can choose to fight the shadows, or you can totally choose to sneak your way around and avoid any kind of confrontation. You don't have to fight the shadows if you don't want to, but there will be the threat will be there.
Hello? Anybody down there?
That's the moment
voice
where you...
Yep. The voice acting. I don't remember the name of the voice actor, but
Eric
the voice
Hurst.
acting. Eric Hurst. The voice of Eric is amazing.
I couldn't agree more. Eric is absolutely fantastic. It was a pleasure recording, and it will be a pleasure to continue recording the rest of the game. He was the thing that we were looking for in this game. He absolutely did a fantastic job, and he gave life to Peter in a way that we couldn't imagine. I mean, during the recording sessions, we totally gave him freedom to infuse his own emotions and his own voice techniques into Peter. We only told him that's what's happening, that's what we need to achieve, and that's what we're after at this point. That's what's happening in the background. And he totally took it to the next level. He did a fantastic job.
And the funny thing is that good voice acting a few years back was something that you could only find in very, very high budget titles. I mean, even in AAA games, sometimes the voice acting could be a little bit off. Sometimes, I understand that it's costly, and especially for an independent studio and working from Cyprus.
But it's something you can't do without, actually. You cannot do without. You absolutely need it if you want to achieve a better game, if you want to have a better game, if you want to get something more than something more that you can do. You need to look out for this stuff.
Especially in a game that it relies so much on its story and it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah, sure. And speaking of voice actors, we had a couple of extra voice actors working on the game. We heard in the intro video Samantha Bergman. She was doing the voice of Sophie Bennett, the wife of Peter. She also did a fantastic job. And even from the audition stage, we totally agree, everybody, when we heard her voice, that this is the person we want as Sophie Bennett. And we were absolutely right, because he also worked great. She has this voice where you can achieve the sweetness and the seriousness at the same time. Both at the same time. We both very important
turn that off.
factors for the game and the character of Sophie Bennett. Also,
and this one is the first really tricky puzzle of the game.
Yeah, that one. Well, this one is this is where things actually get more interesting puzzle-wise. You get to this room where there are 4 doors, and all of them are locked except from the one you got into. There are 4 steam pipes that is blocking you from entering the door, and its door has a letter on it. We have A, B, C, and D. And if you look around, there are hidden numbers, on the boiler tanks. So these are the 2 clues you need to know and understand before you figure out what you need to do to solve the puzzle. So there is one boiler valve which you pick up, and you have to turn off or turn on the steam. So there's a sound on the parts where the steam is on, and also there's a visual representation of the steam at the top of the area where the valve goes, and you have to turn it on or turn it off. Now, what you need to do if you turn it on or turn it off is on this paper. This paper is actually a graph, a map of all the combinations you need to know in order to pass from each door. So how this works is it's very tricky for the player. There are four doors with 4 letters. So we have A, B, C, and D, and we have all these numbers to the right. We need to pick a door that you need to open, and you need to see which boiler valve is blocking your way. So, for example, if we go to boiler to the door, if you want to go through door B, we see that the number of the boiler tank that is blocking our way is number 1. Mm-hmm. Now, if we go back to the paper is telling us if I want to turn off the valve number 1, we need to have the valves off and on, like as it says. So on the door A, it needs to be off. On the door B, it needs to be off. The door C needs to be off, and on D needs to be on. This one is B, and it's currently on. You're switching it off. Next one, you have to check the other boiler tanks. This is on. You have to turn it off. The only one that needs to be open is B. Sorry.
No. Keep saying. Sorry.
It might take some time. I understand that it's a little bit tricky, but it's a logical puzzle. This and the last one, these last 2 puzzles, they might be more difficult than the ones we've seen so far, but they are both based on logic. If you manage to understand this logic, it's very easy to go through each door. So right now, door B is accessible.
The first time that I played the game, somehow I got confused with which valves were open and which were closed, but I made several mistakes in succession, and I managed to solve the puzzle very, very, very fast. And I thought that, okay, I got this. I know how it's working. The second time that I tried to solve this particular puzzle, that's when I realized that I got things really mixed up the first time.
It's one of the puzzles that we're still working on. We're trying to make it a little bit easier, and we know that it might need a little bit more explanation for the player.
How can these be new?
Actually, the logic behind it, we talk about this thing in previous days. The logic behind it is great. Wait for a minute. This is a plot point.
Conspiracy bullshit, and do yourself a favor. Just focus on the things that matter.
Wait, come on. Allegra Pharmaceuticals is into some dark shit and you know it!
Dismissed, Detective Bennett.
That was the third person who worked on the prologue of the game. Wolf Williams is another great voice actor who did Peter Bennett's police chief, and he also managed to get exactly the voice we're looking for. This is the typical police chief who is...
This place creeps me out.
Who has he's friends with Peter, but stuff happens in the game, and sometimes he's strict, and he has to be even more strict. This is the first reference you get from Flower Hill Mental Institution, where you understand that things might involve the Flower Hill Asylum. I mean, it's not a huge part in the game. It's just the beginning of the story. It's where things first happened. The whole story. Sorry.
Do you get to visit the Flower Hill Asylum in the full game?
Yeah, sir, definitely. You get to be at the facilities, and you will have the option to go through some of the areas. But the game has so many more areas that you can explore, and I believe you won't spend too much time on each of these locations.
If you have to make a guess, right now, how much of the main game, of the full game, do you have finished? Do you have on your hands?
We aim for about 10 to 12 hours of gameplay. Right now, this is only the prologue. It can be considered between 45 to 75 minutes. That is roughly based on the player's puzzle-solving skills. I believe maybe another 10 hours of gameplay can be expected for the rest of the game.
Great, that's really solid, actually. And to tell you the truth, right now, with that's what I hear from most people at my age. It's really hard for someone to commit in games that are like 80 hours. So I really prefer games like that offer a solid experience for 10 hours with that are really packed in terms of storytelling and gameplay, and you get to finish it.
Well, this is a story
without playing for months.
Yeah, I mean, this is a story with a beginning and an ending, and you will get through the process of understanding what's going on, and you will get to understand what's happening in Westwood, what's going on with Peter. It's not an open world game where you can like play forever or take on different how do you call it? You can do different quests. You have certain things to do, and even though you can walk around the Westwood city or go to some locations and just wander around, I mean, there is a certain thing you need to do every time. The good thing, I believe, for the rest of the game is that it won't be like solo puzzles like in the prologue. These 10 hours will actually be a game where you have to... There will be a mixture of puzzles, shadow fighting, exploration.
Man, this is getting worse by the minute.
This is getting done. This will be done in a way that the player will enjoy. There will not be a moment where you will get bored from all the puzzles or you get bored from all the exploration. There will be. This is another thing we need to nail. That we need to achieve to have the ups and downs.
503, this is dispatch. Everything all right, Peter?
Give me a few minutes, Carson. I'll radio back. Over.
It's interesting.
This moment right there. It's really small moment. It's great to making the whole thing, the whole experience believable. I mean, the dispatch center calls him to check out on the character, on Peter, to see if everything is alright.
But he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say that he's found some very weird stuff.
I'm three stories down. Yeah.
This was intentionally. I mean, there is a reason why Peter won't say, "Listen, we have some weird situations happening here. Please send me backup." I mean, this was not something we just missed. This was done intentionally. This is based on the script. Peter will not say, "Hey, please come help me. I'm locked in this basement and it's just starting to look creepier and creepier." And there are reasons.
Obviously, from the previous dialogue that he remembered with the chief, he had some issues with this Allegra corporation, and he was pulled from the case, and probably he doesn't want this to happen again. That's what I thought.
Something we're really happy about is how the telephone is letting you know when you're near a phone by ringing that
it is a very, very smart cue, and it really frightened me at this point, because I was the first time I was low on batteries, and most of the time I was running blind around the place, and when I heard this telephone ring,
we tend to check every player when they play the games and they upload it on Steam. We check them out. We watch every gameplay, and I saw a few people when they were listening to the phone ring, they were running directly to the phone. Oh shit! Another telephone. Let me go save the game. So this is another clue now here. This is something you found just now, a paper from a prisoner that is actually giving you some information for later on in the game. For now, you're just exploring this abandoned, as it looks, facility. There are rooms that look like cells, and
for me, actually, this place where you go down the corridor and there's all these doors around you, it was really tense the first time that I played the prologue, because I was really sure that something was going to jump on me.
Yeah, it gives you this vibe, it gives you this feeling that it's about to happen now. I mean, this throughout the demo, it keeps on building up. You believe, you think that, okay, I was just lucky so far, something's gonna just scare me now, something's gonna happen now, it's about to go down.
The expectation, and that's my main objection about the use of term horror. Actually, even though you don't get to see a boogeyman or an enemy or something, the fact that you are expecting to see it, that you are cautious about it, it gets you there. It actually genuinely makes you feel frightened about the navigation, you wandering around into the facility.
And at this point also, there are some certain sound effects that are a little bit louder, a little bit more aggressive. Like if you heard in the bathroom, when you open the doors of the bathroom, they are a lot more louder, and they just close more aggressively. And this is also another way we achieve the building up of the anticipation of something is about to happen now, and I just don't know when or how. Something
and I really
kill me in a bit.
I really like how different is the facility down there compared to the luxurious house at the first part of the prologue. I mean, the room of the library, for example, which is really, 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 you see something like that, it's really, okay, this is something that you only get to see in very, very wealthy people's houses. And now you see this abandoned facility place there with rust and everything. It's really striking.
Here's one of the newer newspapers where you can tell by the date, of course, at the top of the newspaper, and also by the color of the newspaper. You see, as newspapers become more recent and recent, the yellowish tint goes away and it's more white. Tiny little details that very few.
That's great. Actually didn't notice it, but it's great. Yes, those small details that actually, you know, most of the time those things really, even if you don't realize it, go into your subconscious.
We try to do that. We try to work on details that the player might not notice at first or might not understand, but subconsciously, like you said, it works and it clicks and it makes sense. Sometimes it works, sometimes it needs a bit more work. This is something where one of the things that we have to learn throughout the way and by watching people playing the game. Well, we reached the point where we are at the final part of the game and the last big puzzle of the game. This, I have to say, was way harder at first. This puzzle was much more complicated, and I had the rest of the team yelling at me, "You're killing everybody! You have to make it. You have to make it easier. You have to help people understand what's going on." I mean, yes, logical puzzles. They need time to make sense. But the way we had it first, it was super hard. So we tune it down. I mean, this is now the actual. This is the easier version of the puzzle. Still, it requires some time. So let me tell you what's going on with this now. So far, we know that this facility that we are in, they had people locked up in the cells, and they were lighting each cell different days. Some days the light for each cell was on, sometimes the light for each cell was off. This was probably some kind of test and experiment they were doing. And this 10-day schedule here is the amount of days or which days during this 10-day schedule each cell was lit. So we have this as one of the biggest helps, and if you turn around the paper, there is a reminder for each day which cells you need to take into consideration for the password. If you see the other paper on the other locker, there's a note from a guard that says, turn around please. Yeah, all right. So it says that you have to keep in your mind that we need to add the amount of days we light each cell for the pin. So we understand that the each day there was a different password, and that's also stated in another paper outside of this room. And we know that each day they had a different password, and for each day you need to add the amount of days each cell was lit. It's logical. You need to play with it in your mind. Just try to understand. If you read it a few times, you understand it. And also, a big help is at the back of this paper, because you need to understand at some point. You need to know which day was it that the facility stopped working. This other paper that was at the cell, it says, all right, I was very lucky. I had the light on for 5 days, if I'm not mistaken, and tomorrow they're moving us out. And we know immediately that, all right, so they moved everybody out, so they stopped changing the passwords. So that means the day they moved everybody out was the last day they set the password. This is actually one of the ways you can tell which day the password changed last. You have 5 days with 5 passwords all crossed out, so the 6th day must be the one they set the password for the last time. So with this information,
I have to say that when someone when you have the developer explaining it to you, it's really, really easy.
I understand. I understand the struggle of some people. I understand that this.
Actually, if you're paying attention to your environment, I wasn't the first time that I played it. It makes perfect sense.
This is one of the things that we are actually we want to get feedback from the players. I mean, we just want to see how many people will have trouble with this, if it's if it's our fault, if people don't get it right, if it's a puzzle that needs more work. So far, I think this puzzle was harder than the other ones, but at the same time, it was not so difficult to figure out how to make it work. So when you get to when you find the password, you unlock the door which leads to the morgue. That's the first time you actually get to see actual bodies of people, and I mean, I guess Peter knew that something very sketchy and maybe illegal was being done in this facility, but this is now proof. At the same time, it's interesting how he's not asking for backup. Also part of the story. And we get the keys to the storage room. See how the doors... These doors are making a little bit more sound than the other doors.
It makes sense to be in a bathroom and have the squeaky sounds be more intense.
You know, every time we get back to the prologue after a bit of a break, we just come up with new ideas and new ways to approach either puzzles or mechanics, because we constantly are learning stuff. We're constantly getting new ideas, and we are learning from the players how to improve the game and our work. And it's such a struggle to maintain the overall mood at the same time, while adding all these extra elements that we want.
The most positive thing is that you are going to get that
Orion.
to move all this experience to the full game, to the development of the full game.
We are very confident about this.
God damn it, there are files on that disk that prove I'm right.
I don't care if it proves anything. You illegally obtained evidence, and that is not how we do things. Hand in your gun and badge. You're on leave until we've cleared this up.
Okay, alright, look. I know that if we just looked on the disk, Project Orion would be confirmed illegal.
Enough! Drop it! That's an order. Go home, take care of your family, and understand there is no Allegra case.
A very well performed conversation.
Yep.
We are very we were very lucky to get to know these two actors. The part where you know it's definitely gonna happen, something's gonna happen. Most people freak out at this point.
Yep. And you're sure that it's already happening.
Yeah.
Westwood Police, freeze!
That was the most disappointing part of the game. I really wanted to shoot the thing. I was saying, why?
I understand, Peter. Take your time.
I mean, you're saving up all this energy and you cannot wait to get across one of these shadows or one enemy and shoot it. And at the end of the game, at the end of the prologue, you actually don't. It's a tease. It's a tease.
It's a great cliffhanger. It makes you yearn for more. You can't wait for the full release. About the full release, do you have a timetable, a release date in your mind?
Absolutely, yeah. We're trying to make, as we announced on Steam as well, we have our goals set for first half of 2022, and we are gonna try and see if we can release it the first quarter of 2022.
It's going to be self-published, or you're looking for a publisher to call?
Oh, it's probably gonna be self-published. I mean, even though we have no great experience in all these things a publisher do for a game, we are really so confident that we can do. We want to have full liberty of everything, and we want to just give it a try and see how it works. I mean, we believe in what we have. We think it's gonna be successful. We think it's gonna be something that will we'll see. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but no, we're not gonna have any publishers, and we are probably going to keep the development, production, marketing, and everything by ourselves.
That's amazing, and then in many terms, I really respect it. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to go down this lane by yourself, but at the same time, you, as you said, you get to have full liberty on what you're going to do.
It's a very dangerous thing. It's a very difficult thing because you have to be constantly working on so many parts of the production, including marketing and everything. I mean, one thing that can be done with publishers, and it's always best, is marketing. They usually handle all the promotion of the game, and if you don't have a publisher, if you don't have an agency to do that for you, you have to do it on your own. We decided to go for it. We decided to give it a try, and we want to have the freedom of the freedom of all this. But it is kind of hard. But so far we're managing all right, I believe.
That's great. I mean, right now, if you have to make an estimation about the completion, the level of completion of the game, how much?
You mean percentage of the game?
Yes.
I cannot really say now. I mean, there are features, there are mechanics that are still on the making. This is our first game again, and we want to have everything perfect. I mean, this is why we have set this deadline. We think this time is more than enough, but we cannot pinpoint exactly the percentage. I mean, on terms of level design, we are probably like halfway there. In terms of mechanics, the core mechanics are mostly done. The AI system is at the early stages right now, but there are still things to be discussed about some bosses that there will be in the game. But overall, I shouldn't be assuming about things like this. We need to take care of each stage individually, and we think that the time frame we have, given the time frame we need, is more than enough. So by the end of our deadlines, we'll have it done, and this is why I'm saying it might actually be sooner than that, because we have added enough and extra time. Also, if we manage to get the Kickstarter campaign successful, that would even speed things even more. I mean, the reason why we're going after a Kickstarter right now is because we want to add more elements and more features. We are in love with all this and all the development of the game, and every day things are getting better and more exciting for us. And we want to add more elements, more stuff. We want to have more mechanics. We want to have more animated cutscenes. We want to have more stages, more levels for the player, and maybe extend the overall gameplay. And this is pretty much the reason why we are thinking about going to Kickstarter, and why we're going to launch a Kickstarter next month. And if we are successful, then that would be amazing. We can do all these things. If not, then we're just gonna stick to the plan we have right now, and just include all the features that we have in our minds right now, and wrap the game around the time we said before.
What level of funding are you targeting through Kickstarter?
Well, that will be announced in the next few days. We're gonna have an official announcement about the release date for the Kickstarter campaign, and we will also announce all the details about the perks, what we're gonna be giving to the people, and the overall budget we're looking for, and this will be all in the next few days announcement.
Great. Can you give me a hint or something for one of the perks?
I can tell you one thing. There will be a very limited perk that will be one of our most beloved perks, with a handmade wooden box with a curved logo, which will include lots of goodies, like obviously the game, and some extra stuff like posters, some t-shirts, some stuff that I don't want to mention yet, because they're really nice stuff included in this box. This is one of our perks. This is what I can say for now. We haven't announced that yet. You're the first person to hear, and this is the first time I'm announcing it in public. But yes, this is one of the things that I cannot wait personally to get out to the people and tell everybody about it.
Great, I can't wait to see it, actually.
Yeah, there will be an announcement in the next couple of days, I believe. We're gonna lock everything, lock the dates and lock the perks, and we're gonna announce to the people.
Amazing.
Alright, if there's anything else, would you like to ask something about the development, or should we wrap this up?
No, I think we covered everything, so I have to say to everyone listening that check the Prologue, guys, of the Westwood Shadows. It's really, really great, and you're going to have an amazing time with the game. And we keep your mind for the Kickstarter campaign.
Sure. Send us your feedback. Tell us what you think about the game. This helps us a lot. Add the game to your wishlist if you're interested. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody about it if you like it. That helps us a lot. And just follow the game along the process. We'll be announcing updates about the development and everything. And if you join our Discord, we will just have a nice conversation about everything you want to know about the game. Alright, George, thank you very, very, very much for today. It was amazing, and
it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Maybe we'll talk again at some point. Maybe we'll have another live at some point with more news and more updates about the game.
I will always be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, and au revoir to everybody. See you in the next video. Bye.
Bye, everyone.